I'm feeling like somebody took a machete and just all in front of me, took a gun and just was like pow, 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 all up in my back. I'm feeling What's up, guys, and welcome to the Den. Thank you for once again coming and chilling with me in the Den today. You could be anywhere else, but you're here checking me out in the Den. So it's been a long time awaiting. Like, everyone saw the video of the unspeakable pain after I had my surgery when I was being rolled out in a wheelchair. And yes, it was unspeakable pain. There are several things I'm going to be talking about. I'm not going to hold you guys long, but I just want to put it out there, the reason why that occurred. I want you guys to tune in and make sure you turn your notifications on, because I'm going to be dropping more videos with more information about what you need to know before you schedule your surgery, pre and post information that is necessary for you to know before you get involved in this. Now, I know that there's some girls that claim it's nothing, like they have surgery, and girl, oh, cut it out. Like, I had 2 of those, I had 3 of those, I had 1,000 of those. You tripping. Oh well, baby girl, that's you. I don't know what you own, I don't know what you've been through, I don't know what your situation is, but there's thousands of girls that feel differently, and I'm a pretty tough cookie. I'm not a cry baby. I don't just cry easily, okay? So if I was crying, you best believe I was in some pain. So let's dive right on in. If you're new to this channel, make sure you like, subscribe, and make sure you comment down below. Here's the scoop, here's the tea. As I'm speaking, I'm about to drink my tea, my ICO tea. Okay, because to be honest, I'm confused. Like, this eating situation after a BBL is very confusing. One hand they telling you to eat anything you want, then on the other hand they telling you to eat healthy. So I kind of been going in between, but today was one of those days that I overindulged and I feel like I need to detox. So I'm gonna go ahead, as I'm talking to you guys, make my tea so I have something to drink. So as you guys know, a lot of us are booking our surgeries overseas, in Miami, Atlanta is another one, Mexico, some people going to Japan, the DR is another one. We're booking these surgeries over in these places because it's cheaper than doing it in your home town. I live in Vegas. I could have had my surgery done out here, but I didn't have my surgery done out here because it would have cost me double the money, okay? And I think that all of us are trying to save a pretty penny. So with that being said, what we don't know is they're giving these good prices, but when we book these surgeries and we put our down payment down, we don't meet the doctor, we don't see the actual clinic that we're having a surgery in, so we know nothing. We know nothing other than our research that we've done previously. But to be honest with you, the research you do previously is never enough research. I've learned so much since I've had the surgery that it's ridiculous. I'm just like, wow, I wasn't ready. Even though it was almost like a 2-year journey since I put my down payment down, because since then I had another baby, just a whole bunch of different things had transpired. Anywho, let's get back to the subject at hand. I said all that to say is that there's never enough research, so just know that that is very important. When we book these surgeries, wherever we're booking them at besides our hometown, for an example, like if you live in LA, you're not having your surgery in LA because they charge more in LA than they do in Miami. So you're gonna book in Miami. You're gonna find you a doctor that so-called is snatching bodies, and you're gonna go have your surgery there. With that being said, my personal experience, I did just that. I put my down payment down, okay, and I was like, I'll just pay cash when I get there. I'm not going to give them a whole bunch of money, and I don't have my plane yet, I don't know where I'm staying, none of these things. So I literally waited to the last minute and I just paid cash once I got there. Now what happened was, when I got there, you go for your pre-op, meaning you go and you finish filling out the paperwork. Pretty much it's a paperwork day. You go and you finish filling out your paperwork, and that particular day okay? The day before your surgery, you literally meet your doctor for the first time that day. So you're waiting and you're waiting. It's like an all-day thing. So what I mean is, when you go for your pre-op, once you get to the city that you're having your surgery in, so we pretty much arrived, right, that day. That same day, I went for my pre-op. This is scary. This is gonna have me on the toilet. Too much information, but I need to release. I need to detox. All this funny style eating and stuff ain't cool. So anyway, you arrive, you go in for your pre-op. You're filling out a lot of paperwork. This is through my eyes. I see all these different girls, you know, it's like in and out, in and out. You see girls coming in there that just had their surgery. I'm seeing girls like with robes on, with blood on them. I'm like, I'm not really knowing what's going on, because again, I just got here, right? So I'm trying to figure this all out. But common sense, I'm like, okay, these must be girls that just had their surgery. Then I see girls that aren't there, like myself, coming in for their pre-op. A lot of those. Then I see girls that's coming in complaining. You know, I'm seeing I'm trying to catch the vibe here, but I'm minding my own business and I'm staying focused on what I'm there to do. So I'm just waiting. It's like a 2.5 hour wait. I was waiting. Finally, I get to meet my doctor. So my first impression of my doctor is he's a little, you know, shaky with the hands. You know, when he first walked in, I'm nervous. I'm nervous as shh. I'm nervous. Everything that I prepared up until the time that I had all these fantasies and ideas of what that moment is going to be like when I get there and I meet my doctor, right? All that went out the window. It went out the window. I literally became speechless, or like so nervous to where I just didn't know what to say, really. I just put all my trust in this doctor and just wanted him to do what he do, take care of me, like, you know, tell me what he thought. But then I was gonna tell him what I wanted, you know. So long story short, I'm in a room with the doctor and it went fast. It went really, really fast. So the first thing he said when he saw me is he asked me, he said, do you want to cause accidents, turn heads?
Lord have mercy.
Or what is it that you're looking for? And I told him, no, I don't really want to cause accidents. I don't really want to turn a whole bunch of heads and stuff like that. I want to keep it natural, you know. I want to natural, but I don't want to look like or feel like I didn't have surgery or spend money, you know what I'm saying? I want a nice, you know, butt, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to look like, I guess what turned me off too, let me say this. I had my surgery at New Life, okay? And all the girls that work there, you can tell they had surgery. And most of the girls that work there, they had these freaking butts that were kind of on their backs, and it just didn't look well proportionate. Like, it was really ugly to me. But maybe some of you guys like that type of butt, but I didn't want that type of butt. So I think by the time I got in the room with the doctor, I was so afraid that my butt was going to look like that I literally forgot that having a nice butt was like a big part of the surgery. So I told him, no, I just want to be natural, like just make me natural, but actually I don't want to be too big or too small. I want to be in between, but natural. So that was that. I said my main, you know, one of the main things I'm really concerned about is my stomach. I've had 4 kids and I just want my stomach to be flat. I don't want it, you know, I wanted to be, you know, look flat. My last baby had to come by C-section. She turned at the last minute, and it just seemed like since that happened, like I'm just not able to get back where I used to be. So he's like, okay. So he said, you know, take your clothes down, off, whatever. So he turned me around, starts to mark my body and everything, and mark all these little marks and all this. He's like, okay, I can do that for you. You good, I can do that for you. I'm like, that's it? He's like, yeah. I said, well, that's all I need to know? And he's like, yeah. My consultant will be calling you later, letting you know what time your surgery is tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. I don't really remember if I mean, I'm sure I asked a few questions or whatever, but I'm just like, this is it. So that was it, pretty much. I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, well, the rest should go pretty smooth, no problem. I asked, like, how long does the surgery take? He told me it can take up to 3 hours. I asked him how much fat does he take out. He said they take out as much as possible, but there is a limit, and he told me what the limit was. But he said they take out as much as possible and try to balance it out into different areas. I did ask a few questions, but after that, I was like, is that it? Is there any? I just felt like he needed to tell me more, like even if I couldn't think of any questions, you know? So he didn't say anything, I swear. He seemed a little shaky, a little tired. His energy was a little off. But hey, I didn't pay no mind. Most doctors are. They work long hours, you know, whatever. So on to the next. What he did tell me, or the consultant told me, now you know that they're really strict on pre-op. They have so many rules, like you can't take this medication, that medication, you can't take herbs. There's a list of medications and herbs that you cannot take unless they will not do your surgery. So keep that in mind. They're very strict on that. Ladies, please, and I repeat, please do not lie about what it is you're taking, because it can be the end of you. Okay, I'm not going to really go into that on this video. I will be talking about that on another video, but that is so very important that you do not do that. So I left out of there feeling like, that's it? Like, are you serious? But at the same time, there's so many different emotions that you're going through. There's so many things that you're feeling. Like, I really just, honestly, I'm not really knowing what to feel. Now, I don't know if some of y'all that have already had surgery can relate to what I'm saying, but really, to be honest with you, at that moment in time, I just remember feeling like I've never done this before. This is something so new to me. I don't know how to feel. I know I'm excited on one end. I know I'm nervous on the other end. I know I just want everything to be right and perfect, but I don't want to piss nobody off here or the doctor off or none of that. So I'm just gonna keep it cool. That's how I was feeling. So anyway, I leave. They told me to make sure I stopped eating at midnight, I believe it was, and to just eat whatever I wanted that night before, but just make sure I stop at midnight. No water, no nothing. So basically, as you can see in the first video, if you saw the first video, if you haven't seen the first video, the morning of surgery, I kind of talked to you guys a little bit. I'm excited, I'm nervous, all at the same time, not really knowing what to expect. So we leave, we get there. It was almost kind of like the first day. I waited around 3 hours or so before I actually went in and had my surgery. So basically, I ended up meeting another doctor that was going to be helping the doctor that actually injects the medicine to put you to sleep, and the pain medicine and all that type of stuff. He came in first and he talked to me and introduced himself. I noticed he was acting he was kind of a little uppity. Like, the doctor was kind of laid back and just seemed tired. This doctor, you know, he was kind of like uppity, you know, seemed like he was on something, to be honest with you. But you know, I don't like to put that label on people, but that made me a little bit nervous. To me, he seemed a little unprofessional, to be honest with you, some of the things that came out his mouth, you know, but maybe it was just me a little uptight because I was getting ready to have this surgery. I don't know. All in all, I did try to keep a positive attitude because, you know, I just really wanted things to go well. So he came in, he introduced himself. He told me how everything was going to be okay. He told me that he was going to be starting my IV and everything. So blah, blah, blah. He couldn't get my veins. It was a little bit of a struggle, but he started an IV. I had this in my arm for about a good 2.5 hours before the doctor actually came. The doctor actually came and got me. So they laid me on this table and he starts to put medication in my arm, but then he said he doesn't like my IV. And I'm saying all this to say is because, again, I'm explaining what happened while I was in so much pain. And this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking maybe there was a problem with my IV all along. Maybe it was just that they thought they gave me medication and my IV wasn't working, because this guy has so many problems with my IV that I don't freaking know. I couldn't comprehend how you can have surgery and the place that you have surgery at do not make sure you wake up with enough medication in your system to hold you over till you can go get your prescription. Pissed, okay? Beyond pissed. So pissed that I just freaking started crying, because you guys didn't see the part when I was on the inside and I was already like going off on them, basically telling them how I felt. Like, this is some bullshit. Give me some medicine. What is wrong with you people? Why are you guys ignoring this girl, that girl? What are you doing? Why do I feel all this pain? And they're just like walking by me like, oh, you'll be okay. Everything's fine, honey. Like, you know, it's in Miami, so they talk Spanish and they're just like, oh, mommy, you'll be fine. You okay? No, I'm not okay. I'm telling them I'm not okay. I'm feeling things that I should not be feeling. There's no way. I done have 4 kids, okay? After you have a baby, they make sure you're comfortable. Like, you don't feel nothing. I'm feeling wounds. I'm feeling everything. I'm feeling like somebody took a machete and just all in front of me, took a gun and just was like, pow, 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 all up in my back. I'm feeling not no menstrual cramp pain, not no pain that you can take on a daily basis. I'm feeling like the pain that you would cry out like, help me, give me some freaking medication, because I shouldn't be feeling this. Okay, so after it's all said and done, and I'm thinking about this, because again, I was caught off guard. I didn't know this was going to happen. I'm thinking like, this is after I'm home and I had time to process this. I'm thinking like, well, maybe there was a problem with my IV, because this guy got kind of nervous when the doctor walked in and he was like, oh, she's not ready yet. And he was like, oh no, doc, like she moved. Like he blamed him not getting my IV right on me. But I'm like, okay, whatever. And to be honest with you guys, I was still as a doorknob, because I wanted everything to go perfect, and I know I have small veins, so I know not to move. And I told him that, and he thought he was so experienced that he would not make any mistakes, and he made the most mistakes. Usually when I tell people I have small veins and they tell me how much experience they have and they're not going to do wrong, those are the ones that can't get it right. So he kept asking me, do you feel anything? Do you feel anything? And at first, for a long time, I just kept saying, no, I don't feel anything. No, I don't feel anything. And they make you lay like this, almost like Jesus, you know, like on a cross or something. So I'm pretty much laying like this across the table. They have your arms like this, and I don't feel anything. But then, Lord and behold, all of a sudden, I start feeling a burning sensation. Now, we all, not everyone, but most of us have had the IV where they put you to sleep and you start to feel something burn, right? Yeah, I've had that before. This time, it was so freaking powerful. I literally thought I was on death row when they freaking inject you with whatever they inject you with to kill you, okay? Because it was burning so bad to where I was trying to be so strong. Like I told you, I'm a tough cookie. I was trying to be so strong. I was like, okay, it'll be over in a minute. I just kept thinking about my kids and how wonderful life is and blah, blah, blah. I was like, but it lasted so long to the point I remember I started just like, oh my God, when is this gonna stop? Because it was burning so long. So finally I was asleep. That's when I woke up, and it took me a minute, but immediately I knew something was wrong. I'm thinking, okay, maybe the medication has to kick in, whatever. It never kicked in. All I knew is I was feeling wounds. I was feeling cut open. I was feeling every single thing that they did to my body on that table. I was feeling it. It felt like somebody had yanked something out my throat. My throat was hurting real bad. It was hard for me to swallow. Like I said, I felt like someone, like I had just got shot up, stabbed up, all in one, on top of pressure. So I'm feeling all these different things. So I'm asking him at first, like, excuse me, is this normal to feel this? And she's like, oh, baby, you'll be fine. I'm just like, okay, I'll be fine. Let it, you know, and I'm like, and it wasn't fine. It was getting worse. So then I started to get a little more aggressive as far as like, excuse me, I'm really in pain. I'm in a lot of pain. This is not, you know, like literally, I feel like I woke up with no medication in my system. Is this what you guys do? Because let me go back a little bit. While I was sitting back there, I'm watching everything. I didn't close my curtain, and neither did they. I was sitting right by the nurse's station. So I'm watching them roll girls out, and I'm watching these girls like shaking to death. Like not shaking to death, Lord forbid, but they're shaking as into death. Like they're shaking uncontrollably. And then all of a sudden they start like whining and crying. In my head, again, I don't know what was going on at that moment, okay? So I'm thinking like maybe their medication hadn't kicked in yet. This is what I'm thinking. But then they rolled them out quickly. Like their people, that whoever was going to pick them up was already on their way. So once they got the indication that they were downstairs, and most of the time they were already downstairs, because I think they call your family member a little before. They kind of time it so they know when to call. So literally I see them roll them out. I see them transfer them from the surgery bed into a different bed, and then roll that bed out, and then they kind of disconnect them from whatever they're connected from, and they give them about, they wait for that notification to come, which is about 5-10 minutes at the most. They put them in a wheelchair and roll them out to the people that's going to pick them up. Okay, with that being said, they weren't there long, so I didn't really get to see. Now I saw a couple of girls a little more aggressive and like, hey, I'm in pain. They said the same thing to them. You okay, you'll be fine, you go pick up your medication, all this. I'm still not knowing to the extent what's going on. on. So when my turn came and they rolled me out or whatever, I didn't know right then what was going on. I just knew I was in a lot of pain. So I'm asking her, I'm like, listen, help me, like this hurts, like something's wrong. Because in my head I'm thinking like maybe they forgot to give me the medication, but give me something now because this is what I'm feeling. They didn't do it. So my husband told me later they called him like 5 times. He like broke the speed limit trying to get to me because we ended up staying like an hour away, only because I didn't like the area that the clinic was in. So I ended up booking somewhere where it was a little further out. Knew that, but didn't know how far. Long story short, whatever. He said he broke speed limit to try to get to me. Got there. About time he got there and they rolled me out, I couldn't do anything but cry. I couldn't do anything but cry because I was fed up. I was just like, these people not listening to me. I don't know what to do at this point in time. All I can do is cry. I can't talk no more. I can't do nothing but just sit here and cry because I don't know what else to do. I feel like my whole body about to just fall apart or I'm about to die. What did I do to myself? That's pretty much my mentality when I'm being rolled out. I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, what did I do? How am I gonna get through this? This how this feel? This hurts really, really bad. I didn't know it hurt this bad, you know, because you got this girl over here acting like it ain't nothing. This girl have surgery, go out the next night, all this type of stuff. Honey, girl, I don't know what you was on, but no. Okay, so that's what I was thinking. So when you guys watch and you're not quite understanding why I'm crying like that, that is the reason why I'm crying. Let me give you some tips. If you're booking your surgery, there's 2 different things going on here. You have these places where you're booking out of town, and a lot of these places, they run their service like a clinic. To me, the closest thing to it is an abortion clinic, but worse. Okay, these prices are cheap for a reason. You have all these girls coming up with this money and they're getting this surgery for a cheap price. Make sure you ask them the medication is included in that price for when you wake up, you're covered until you can get to your prescription medication, and that they don't let you wake up with no medication in your system and you have to be in all that pain until you get to your medication. Now for you girls that had woke up and you weren't feeling no pain and you were comfortable and all that, you were good. Your doctor made sure you were straight. But for some reason, my doctor and his coordinator, or maybe it was the anesthesiologist, which messed up and didn't want to say he messed up, gave me too much medicine to put me to sleep and was scared to give me medication to put in my system. I don't know where the hiccup happened at, but it was on my dime and it happened and I was in a lot of pain and it caused me to get caught off guard. I didn't expect to come out that clinic like that. I expected to be rolled out and be comfortable until I can get to my prescription. I knew I was going to be uncomfortable. I knew it was going to hurt to some extent, but I didn't know it was going to hurt like that, like detrimental hurt. Like I literally thought I was gonna freaking die. I will never wish that pain on no one. Because it hurts so bad. All I can remember thinking to myself is, what did I do? So again, just make sure that is included in your contract when you put your down payment in. It is not a stupid question. It is a question to ask, because even in the group that I'm in on Facebook, I'm finding that a lot of girls are saying the same thing. Like they woke up and they had no meds in their system. Then I have some girls that tell me that it was nothing for them. Girl, you woke up comfortable. Your doctor made sure you had the medicine in your system. So all in all, I'm looking out for your best interest, and I'm just trying to forewarn you. Just make sure that it is included in your contract, because I wish someone would have told me, because I assumed that it was in my contract. I assumed that I was gonna wake up and have meds in my system, and that just clearly wasn't the case. Guys, girls, ladies, honey, dolls, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and hit that subscribe. Come kick it with me again in the next video. I hope this video explains why I rolled out of there crying like a baby. Hey, whatever. It is what it is. Hey, they caught me slipping. They caught me off guard, but it's all good because I'm better now. I'm doing so much better. Ladies, you can get through it. Once I got the medication in my system, I was fine. I was fine. fine. It's what everybody talked about. I was able to walk, I was able to talk, I was able to smile, I was able to kind of look and see how swollen I was. But with no medication in your system, it's unspeakable pain. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it explained. I hope it gave you some tips on what you can do to make sure you're covered in your situation. And if you went through surgery and you are one of the girls that woke up with no meds in your system, make sure you drop a comment down below. I would like to know about it. I would like to feel like I'm not alone in this situation. If you cried like a baby, drop a comment below. I want to know about it. I want to feel like I'm not alone in this situation. Don't make me feel like I'm the only one cried like a baby. Okay, so go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and leave a comment. I'll see you on the next video. Make sure you tune in, put your notifications on, because the next videos that are coming is going to be a reveal. The next video is coming. We're going to talk doctors. We're going to talk prices. We're going to eventually talk food, what you should eat and what you shouldn't eat. That is my biggest struggle. We're gonna talk what's the hardest thing after your surgery. I'm very surprised what people think the hardest thing is. A lot of people think it's pain, but it's not. So we're gonna be talking what was the most difficult thing after surgery. And my heart goes out to any of us that have had this surgery, and it is a struggle, because trust me, it is a surgery that really requires courage and strength and faith. So till the next time, take care and be safe.